welcome back to ABC General Hospital Spoilers channel. Today we will learn about the explosive developments unfolding on Tuesday, February 3, that will shake Port Charles to its very core. From mysterious disappearances to desperate legal battles, the tension is reaching unprecedented heights as multiple storylines collide in spectacular fashion. Tracy Quartermain's mysterious vanishing act. The atmosphere at the legendary Quartermain mansion has shifted from its usual controlled chaos to genuine alarm. Giovanni Gio Palmieri and Emma Scorpio Drake find themselves in an uncomfortable position. Believing they've somehow incurred the wrath of the formidable Tracy Quartermain, the young duo's anxiety is palpable as they confide in Brooke Lynn Quartermain and Harrison Chase, trying to piece together what went wrong with their carefully laid plans. The situation becomes clearer when Gio and Emma reveal the full scope of Tracy's ambitious mission involving precious Q family heirlooms. These aren't just any ordinary keepsakes. They represent generations of Quartermain history, wealth, and legacy. Tracy had entrusted the young pair with a critical task, one that would have demonstrated their worthiness to the family matriarch. However, Mother Nature had other plans entirely. A sudden and severe snowstorm created an impenetrable barrier, transforming what should have been a straightforward errand into an impossible undertaking. The treacherous road conditions left Gio and Emma stranded, unable to complete the mission Tracy had assigned them. The weight of their failure hangs heavy in the air, especially given Tracy's notoriously low tolerance for excuses or incompetence. But the situation takes a genuinely alarming turn when Brooke Lynn realizes something far more disturbing than disappointed expectations. Tracy herself has completely vanished from the Quartermain property. Every room has been checked, every possible location searched, yet there's no trace of the family matriarch anywhere on the sprawling estate. Brooke Lynn's panic is immediate and intense. Her grandmother may be tough as nails, but she's also advanced in years, and the same brutal winter weather that stopped Gio and Emma could pose serious dangers. The frantic search mobilizes the entire household as Brooke Lynn insists on tracking down Tracy immediately. However, the truth behind Tracy's absence is far less ominous and considerably more scandalous than anyone could have imagined. Tracy had spent an unexpectedly intimate evening with Martin Gray at Drew Kane's luxurious residence. The unplanned romantic encounter represents a significant departure from Tracy's usual meticulously controlled life. And the evening certainly didn't unfold according to anyone's expectations. When Tracy finally resurfaces, whether by walking through the mansion doors or making contact via phone, she'll have some interesting belief. Explaining to Do about her overnight adventure, Britt Westbourne's freedom plan derailed. Meanwhile, Britt Westbourne's carefully orchestrated escape plan is about to hit catastrophic snags. Jason Morgan has been instrumental in setting the groundwork for Britt's first steps toward genuine freedom from the nightmare she's been living. Jason's confidence and meticulous planning initially give Britt hope that she might actually pull off this impossible feat and reclaim the semblance of her former life. Jason's encouraging words about Britt's imminent liberation paint a picture of possibility, making freedom seem tantalizingly within reach. He's navigated countless dangerous situations before, and his track record speaks for itself. But even Jason's expertise can't account for every variable in this high-stakes game. The moment Britt separates from Jason's protective presence, the situation begins deteriorating rapidly. Almost immediately, Britt stumbles upon something that shakes her to her very core. The discovery is so profoundly disturbing that it threatens to unravel everything she and Jason have worked toward. While the exact nature of this revelation remains shrouded in mystery, all signs point toward the sinister influence of director Ross Cullum. This shadowy figure has been manipulating events from behind the scenes, and his reach appears far more extensive than anyone previously understood. Cullum's ability to insert himself into Britt's escape plan suggests he's been monitoring her movements all along, possibly with inside information or surveillance capabilities that make true freedom nearly impossible. The psychological impact on Britt will be devastating. Just when she dared to hope for a normal life, that dream is brutally snatched away. The deeply disturbed state she finds herself in will force difficult decisions about whether to continue fighting for freedom or accept that. Some forces are simply too powerful to overcome. Emma's critical phone call in a separate but potentially connected development. Emma Scorpio Drake will receive a phone call that could alter the trajectory of multiple storylines. The timing of this pivotal communication is suspicious, coming right when tensions are already running high throughout Port Charles. The call allegedly contains information about Anna Devane, Emma's beloved grandmother who has been at the center of numerous dangerous situations. The question looming over this phone call is its legitimacy. Is Emma receiving genuine intelligence about Anna's whereabouts or situation? Or is this carefully crafted disinformation designed to send her on a wild goose chase that serves someone else's agenda? The potential for manipulation is enormous, especially given how many powerful figures currently have reasons to control information flow about Anna. If the call is legitimate, it could provide crucial clues to Anna's current predicament and offer opportunities for rescue or intervention. However, if it's a trap or misdirection, Emma could find herself drawn into danger. becoming leverage against Anna or another pawn in the complex games being played by Port Charles's various power brokers. Emma's response to this call will require careful judgment and possibly consultation with trusted allies who can help verify the information's authenticity. Lucas Jones trapped at Windermere over at the Gothic and increasingly ominous Windermere Castle. Lucas Jones finds himself in a frustrating and bewildering situation. Having grown increasingly uncomfortable with their current living arrangements, Lucas has identified what he believes is a perfect solution: relocating to a new apartment that would offer them privacy, security, and distance from the dangerous intrigue surrounding Windermere. Lucas has done his homework, finding a place that meets all their practical needs while removing them from the crossfire of whatever schemes are currently unfolding within Windermere's ancient stone walls. He approaches Marco Rios with enthusiasm, ready to present this opportunity as their ticket to a more normal, stable life together. However, Marco's response completely blindsides Lucas. Rather than embracing the chance to escape Windermere's increasingly toxic atmosphere, Marco firmly and inexplicably insists they must remain at the castle. His refusal isn't presented as a preference or suggestion. It's an absolute mandate that leaves no room for discussion or compromise. Lucas is understandably baffled by Marco's obstinate stance. The logical conclusion is that Marco feels compelled to maintain proximity to Sidwell in whatever operations he's running from Windermere. Marco may believe his presence is necessary to help Sidwell maintain control over various moving pieces. Or perhaps Marco himself is more deeply entangled in Sidwell's schemes than Lucas has realized. The power dynamics and true nature of Marco's relationship with Sidwell remain murky, but his refusal to leave Windermere suggests connections that could prove dangerous for Lucas if he's not careful. Willow's desperate legal maneuver. Perhaps the most emotionally charged confrontation of the day occurs when Willow Kane corners Alexis Davis with a desperate plea for legal assistance. Willow has been separated from her children, Wiley Corinthos and Amelia Corinthos, and the pain of that separation has driven her to become more increasingly desperate measures. She sees Alexis as her best and possibly only hope for regaining access to her kids. Willow's approach is strategic, appealing to Alexis's proven track record. After all, Alexis successfully defended Drew Kane in his shooting case, demonstrating exactly the kind of legal prowess Willow needs in her corner. She lays out her situation with raw emotion, making it clear that every moment away from her children is agony. However, Alexis's initial response is cautious, possibly even reluctant. She may suggest that Willow would be better served finding another attorney, perhaps sensing the ethical complexities and emotional landmines inherent in this case. The situation involves Michael Corinthos, Sonny Corinthos, and various other powerful figures with whom Alexis has complicated relationships. Taking on Willow as a client could create conflicts that extend far beyond a simple custody matter. But Willow isn't accepting no for an answer. Her desperation has pushed her to morally questionable territory, and she's prepared to use whatever leverage she can find. She introduces a manipulative element involving Scout Quartermain and Danny Morgan, Alexis's own grandchildren. The implicit and possibly explicit threat is clear if Alexis won't help Willow secure visitation with her children. Willow will block Danny's access to his sister Scout. The leverage doesn't stop there. Willow even dangles the possibility of reporting Danny for violating a restraining order during the holiday season. This threat carries serious potential consequences, possibly including legal trouble for a young man who was simply trying to maintain his sibling relationship. It's emotional blackmail at its finest. But Willow's desperation has eroded her moral boundaries to the point where she's willing to weaponize children's relationships to achieve her goals. Alexis finds herself in an impossible position. Her professional judgment might tell her to refuse, but her personal stakes in protecting Danny and reuniting him with Scout create overwhelming pressure to capitulate to Willow's demands. The ethical dilemma is profound. Can she represent someone who's essentially blackmailing her with her own grandchildren's welfare? Michael's fury and Sonny's strategic response. When Alexis reaches out to Michael Corinthos on Willow's behalf, attempting to negotiate some kind of compromise or visitation arrangement, the response is explosive. Michael's anger erupts immediately and intensely. He's absolutely unwilling to engage with Willow through intermediaries or legal representatives. From Michael's perspective, if Willow has something to say or wants to negotiate regarding their children, she needs to face him directly rather than hiding behind her attorney. His fury stems not just from the current situation, but from accumulated betrayals and disappointments in his relationship with Willow. The fact that she's now approaching him through legal channels rather than having the courage to speak with him personally feels like yet another act of cowardice and manipulation. Michael makes it abundantly clear that he will not participate in this legal dance. Willow must confront him face to face if she wants any. Discussion about the children. Observing this explosive confrontation, Sonny Corinthos recognizes immediately that the situation requires serious legal firepower. Michael's emotional state and Willow's increasingly aggressive tactics suggest this custody battle is about to escalate into full-scale warfare. Sonny knows Michael needs more than just moral support. He needs a legal shark who can match whatever moves Willow and Alexis might attempt. Sonny's solution is to bring in Rick Lansing, a brilliant, if ethically flexible attorney who has proven his worth in countless difficult situations. Rick's reputation for aggressive advocacy and creative legal strategies makes him the perfect counterweight to Alexis's considerable skills. Sonny approaches Rick with a combination of personal appeal and professional challenge, essentially daring him to demonstrate his legendary abilities in this high-stakes family conflict. While Rick's initial response isn't explicitly confirmed, the implication is strong that Sonny's persuasive powers will ultimately prevail. Rick has his own complicated relationship with Sonny, but when the mob boss makes a direct request and frames it as an opportunity to showcase legal brilliance, Rick will likely find the challenge irresistible. Once he commits to Michael's cause, the legal battlefield will be completely transformed, setting up an epic showdown between two of Port Charles's most formidable attorneys. The stage is now set for an explosive continuation of these interconnected storylines, with each character facing critical decisions that will reshape their futures and the landscape of Port Charles itself.